up for grabs.
Selena.
And Geek Fam isn't going to hesitate this time. It looks like the lineup that Geek Fam are bringing in today is Zorn or Zoraveki, Arts, Dominus, and Feeks. So Rumpel will not be playing this time round. Geek Fam locking Selena for themselves, and Notorious Villains reply with their own answers. Uranus as well as Jawhead.
Team is picking.
Well, of course, a really good start for the side of NV. At least they've got some really defensive and offensive lineup on the front to actually make it up for, you know, some sort of lost power. But we're looking at Geek Fam here, which I'm not sure if they really want to go for that Layla, but definitely Chao is going to be a really great option for them. And of course, some of the signature moves coming in from their Granger.
Yep, and the signature Cho as well. Like, they're having it as a great flex support pick. They're not entirely sure. Notorious Villains isn't sure whether or not that this Cho is going into the off lane, but I don't think it matters too much when you're up against someone like Uranus. But, you know, Granger is a pretty good shout. Definitely would have thought that carry might be the option here, but it looks like they want something that can kind of peel away and have some extra range when they get into team fights in comparison to carry, who is mobile, but a lot shorter when it comes to range.
Yeah, definitely a concern right there. And now that they've already gotten Granger on the side of Geek Fam, which means Notorious Villains here, now with the lack of firepower, they really got to take their pick here. And Geek Fam will negate them from getting a long-range marksman, like you said. So Kimmy being removed, they really got to dig out something out of the meta, something off the wall to actually face off against Geek Fam's side, because they definitely will be able to pack a punch. So Chen here was currently thinking, what should she go for? Well, there is a couple of options there. Maybe they want one in the Indonesian side. We've seen some Rogers, and yeah, that's definitely going to be that pick coming in.
Yep. And, you know, the biggest giveaway was with the high loss, you know, especially, like, why do you need the Glorious Pathway specifically out of all the different ultimate abilities in the game, just so that you can kind of disengage and re-engage into teams, and that's something that Roger really needs. Geek Fam, they lock in the Carmilla as well as the Grok, and this just means that Notorious Villains, they've kind of already locked in their side lane. It's a little hard to hold off on, to play carry at this point of time. Not saying that they can't, it's just kind of difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pretty harsh on them, but I really do like this Carmilla pick right here. Like, it kind of gives Geek Fam that sort of edge where if they were to actually go in for team fights, it really causes Notorious Villains to think twice on which target to pick first if they can't find a Granger, and they have Estes to protect and shield them whenever necessary. So, well, with that being said, we've seen both sides of the lineup. Which side are you favoring, Gideon?
Honestly, I'm looking at it. I definitely like the draft of Geek Fam a lot more, but I can understand what Notorious Villains are trying to do, the way they design their type of composition, especially when they want to go in hard. But in the meantime, as we're going to load into the game, let's have a look at what Geek Fam has to say to Envy.
Kolia dan Swan, korang jaga lah elok Chen tu. Sebab apa? Sebab kita orang akan For Geek Fam, there's no teams that have gotten champion twice. That will be the same for you.
Oof, pretty harsh words coming in from Kolia, but, well, we're about to find out. Of course, Geek Fam will be at least playing in the playoff stages, but as for Envy, they're just trying to disrupt their run along the way. So, final day of the MPL Season 5 regular season, and we're starting things off here in the best of 3. Geek Fam against the first Villains.
Yep, and they've already started. Xian taking quite a bit of damage here. Arts is very low, but Xian is going to secure the kill. The flicker isn't going to be enough, and the flame shot coming in from Selena. Oh, this game is already gone. So bloody, so fast, and nobody has really hit level 2 yet.
Yeah, I mean, they really went really hard on towards the bot lane skirmish, and well, it's a 1-for-1 right now, and Zora's trying to actually steal that away while he has to face off against 3 members of Envy. He's forcing a flicker, but he's going to be pretty much A-okay, and of course, emotes on the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. But look at the top side of the map. You can already see that Geekfam is stealing away the red buff because of the information that was being fed from the bottom side of the map. And you can see, oh, Swan, unfortunately, not even going to get the blue buff as well. And Selena, Dominus, wants to get some more. He's already put some damage into Swan as well as Colia. They're forced to back away. Well played, Geekfam. Looks like they are just dominating the map, even when it comes to buff stealing.
Yeah, you can see that they are just taunting them down, just shoving the mid lane and perhaps looking for advantages from the bot side. We know Chen has gotten himself that first kill, so maybe he might get punished a little bit later on, but they will choose to back away, secure a couple more of that sort of EXP from the jungle, while Becky here will have to face off against Chen, and it won't be a fair fight as Hallucinates will arrive to the scene to get his river crab.
And now Chen is taking her time just proxying the wave with the top side of the map just being cut off entirely here. Chen, she's okay. She knows that Razorveki doesn't have enough damage to secure the kill, but Chen taking quite a bit of damage for the Death Sonata, though. Is this going to be enough? Oh, the Rhapsody follow-up by Feats is going to ensure that to be a quick kill coming in for the side of Geekfam.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate because Chen's almost hit those levels up, but you know, that's going to be the Granger already at level 5. He's going to hit like a truck no matter what, but here comes Arts though, just dashing in. Well, Zorn doing Zorn things here. It's going to be actually pulling a little bit of attention coming from the side of Envy. Well, Swan's just going to soak whatever hit that he can take for now, but Notorious Villains really have to find a way to stop a little bit of that goal bleed. So as it stands, in less than 3 minutes, we've already seen maybe a 1.5k differential in terms of goal.
Yeah, and you know, Carmilla against the Uranus as of right now in the top lane side, it's the only difference. Oh, wait, hold on. Arts is coming in with the unstoppable force and the secure kill coming in from Feast on top of the Abyssal Arrow. Looks like they've got a successful dive down on bot lane. It looks like Geekfam, you know, making sure that they have pure river control when even since they locked the Selena, making sure that they are abusing her early game power.
Yeah, and of course, Abyssal Arrow will be hitting onto Swan, and he will be actually facing up against Trey with that wall charge. He will be knocked up in the air, and that will be the kill secured. Geekfam, 4 kills in back already.
Yeah, and now Azorveki just keeping eyes here. He doesn't want to get caught just yet. He doesn't pick up the Cyclone. He walks away scot-free. But you have to admit that the combination coming in from Dominus was really clean after leading with the Abyssal Arrow. He uses the Abyssal Dash just before he drops the trap, uses his Flame Shot to knock them backwards to buy a little bit more time for the rest of the team to kind of clean it up.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the first villains here. They're only depending on Chen to actually push the top side wave, which is already being proxied by Geekfam. And I'm not too sure what kind of lead they actually secure. But yeah, fair point. Geekfam, they got enough crowd control. They can pick off fights one after another. And, you know, Zoran is just doing Zoran things. He just have to wait for a proper wild charge to go in for the pickoff whenever that Abyssal Arrow hits. And there goes Arts. He will be kicked off with the Wader Dragon for the killing spree for Selena.
Yeah, it looks like Geekfam just wants to kind of staunt in the mid lane as well as the top lane as well, making sure that they're both safe because they know that with the help of Dominus, they're able to secure more kills as Feast comes in with a sick Death Sonata here. So Swan won't be able to survive. Oh, he actually does with the with the Revitalize and the Glorious Pathway. The health regeneration was just enough to keep him alive. Zorn unable to kind of clean up the kill at the end there, but looks like Notorious Villain are going to walk away with just only a couple of battle spells burnt.
Yeah, we're looking at such a dominant side from Geekfam, and they've already opened up the bot side tier 2 as well, which means that Notorious Villains will have no control over on towards the right side of the jungle. And Zorn, he's just soaking as much hits as he can, but he is running away with that wall charge, and still is showing off those recalls.
Just cannot run away. When the moment the Moonwell drops and the hunt is popped, Roger is going to be running you down.
Oh yeah, I just really love to see Rogers really popping up in the mid game, and now he's going to be able to actually at least get back into shape to get some of all these core items up on the way. But, you know, for the side of Geek Fam, they've already got Blade of the Heftas up online, and of course the Calamity Scythe over on towards the side of Selena. They do have a lot more advantages as compared to Notorious Villains right now, and they really got to do something about the top side. You can see that Chen is having such a hard time to face this one off.
Yeah, again, the struggle is real, but both teams, you know, both putting focuses on the top side of the map. The bottom side has been completely destroyed in the meantime, and that's how Geek Fam has this 5k goal lead, all due to one lane. But Zorn in the middle of everything, they want to send somebody through. Arts gets ejected over, but it looks like they've collapsed right on top of Skin. Swan, the next on the chopping block, but nobody has seen Feeks just get in the backline with a very efficient left side angle with the density. Just doesn't cut it out. NB is behind. They're going to go for the dive onto Chen, even though it just doesn't matter. The last shot is with the insured crit from Feeks will secure the kill.
Much that they can do to defend themselves. One more turtle on the way for the side of Geek Fam, and they will try to break up the top side tower as well. Well, I'm not so sure at this point. Can they even manage a comeback? I'm looking at the side of Notorious Villains. They still need a lot more items to come up, but they will be able to actually find the kill over on towards Camilla eventually, as Ozura Veki will go down.
Yep, and now this is just becoming very difficult for Envy to even walk out of their base. Geek Fam have complete control over the jungle and Zorn because no one is able to stop him and no one's big enough to stop him. He's forced into this position where, hey, it's either you deal with Zorn or continuously have to deal with you know, the recent updates that Zorn is giving his team whenever he's in the jungle.
Yeah, I'm looking at the form of Geek Fam. They are looking like their championship form. Remember back in the days where they managed to lift the trophy? This is how convincing they can actually play, and you can just see that level of confidence that Zorn has. But here comes Artsko. He will pick him up, and this high loss is gone. They're looking to actually find Coda as well. And that's a double kill coming over towards the hands of Arts.
Yep, there's nothing much he can do as of yet, but he'll have to peel backwards as he continues to fight on. Geek Fam keeping control over the top side jungle, and Notorious Villains. Hallucinates can only do so much. Yes, he's getting some good damage onto Zorn, and luckily he has his blue buff, but he needs more items, and I don't think I don't think Notorious Villains has the time to kind of just wait or sit around and just let things happen. Geek Fam is suffocating them through the economy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the economy. It's pretty bad. Like, they are forced to just buy armor and armor only. Look at all the tanks. They're not even beefy enough. Artskin is going to be looking for another kill right there, and there's going to be a big heal coming from Astis. But here comes Sword from the back, trying to actually knock down Hallucinates, as the missile arrow will be able to actually land onto one. And here comes more shots from the depths of Nada. Finks will be
dying in her place, and now Swan is the next to hit the wall. There's nothing much you can do. He uses the revitalize, but the second proc coming in from the abyssal trap is just too much damage. Dominus doesn't care. He's 4-1. He's still going. Arts in the backline has to 2v1 this situation. It looks like he has dived way too deep into the base of Notorious Villain, but Feeks, he's too big. He knows he's too big. He quickly rondos over the wall in hopes that he can catch Hallucinating off of his strikes, but this tower is still standing, and Notorious Villains trade 3 for 2 against Geek Fam.
Well, the Notorious Villains did not die in vain. They protected it well enough, but how long more can they hold on? The mid side is already being forced in, and they really have to get this one away towards Geek Fam. Well, one more kill for the side of Granger from long range, and boy, even if you want to deal with Feeks, you have to go through so many units. Like, Zoran is already a brick wall. Arts is already bursting down members. He can go toe-to-toe with any single one of these NV members, and I'm not too sure, should they even focus on Becky? It's going to be really hard to even find the right targets, but at least they do get a pick off every single time that they skirmish.
Yeah, and I'm thinking for a way for NB to kind of get out of this, you know, because as of right now, Geek Fam have full control. They can't really push through until they get lore, but the side of NV, they can't really walk out of their base. They can't even get jungle. It's a 14k goal lead for the side of Geek Fam, and it looks like they don't really necessarily have to get the lore. They can just keep playing off of Dominus's picks with the Abyssal Arrow.
Yeah, now, of course, they're just waiting for the arrow to hit. He does hit, but that's definitely not going to be that period of contest for out of Geek Fam, as we see Arts just trying to actually find that pickup once again. They're staying behind enemy lines for sure, but when this wave crashes, Geek Fam could actually take the Lord, but they chose not to. They're just setting up the waves. They want to look for that team fight. They want to find that pickoff, and they want to end this game right here, right now.
Launch attack.
Yeah, but they're synchronizing the waves with, you know, top and bottom. Oh, looks like this is the engagement that they were looking for, but it doesn't really go too much as Kolia pops the ultimate to ensure that his entire team is healthy enough to defend this next push. It looks like Geek Fam, even though they did get an initial, like, you know, really strong pick, it's not going to be enough, but they cut off with a great Guardian's Barrier, eliminate
Goes, Chan is down, and of course they will be able to actually open up the top side, ejecting one member off right there for that double kill coming in for Feeks, and it's only going to be Hallucinates left. What can he do? That wave will crash right in, but it seems like Geek Fam will give them one more hope to defend.
Yep, and now Luminous Lord is back up. Feeks was at 1 HP, so I guess they wanted to make sure their damage dealers were healthy enough to deal with a single Moonwell coming in from Kolia if he does come back up. So, smart decision from Geek Fam, as considering that Feeks doesn't have any magic resist at all.
Test for that Lord, it's going to be pretty tough here. As we can see, that will be Chan there getting picked off by the side with Swan. Still out of position. It doesn't matter if he has the glorious pathway or not. But here comes Ozarveki. He wants to actually flicker right in, but it will be Chan pummeled by the wall, and Geek Fam will run them over like a truck. 2 more members left for the side of enemy, as they are still waiting for the wave, but they're already trying to finish off Hallucinates, as he will be able to go back into base.
Yeah, it looks like Geek Fam, they're not even going to touch the Lord at this point. They're just going to play their methodical game. They're going to clear out the waves wherever they can, look to kind of clean this up, because they could have ended the game quite a long time ago, but they are just trying to stick to their disciplines. They got to live by a code, you know?
Yeah, the code will be to show the emotes inside the base, and hoping that this Abyssal Arrow will connect to the Hallucinates for them to actually get one more pickup right there. This is definitely toying around the minds of notorious villains, which, of course, all they are focused on is only one thing: clearing waves, trying to actually find a way to counter-engage, and maybe EFAM might just be upset right there. But here comes wall charge and towards 2. That's going to be fingers coming over from the side of Envy. One more knockup going over on 3 members, but they are managing to actually hold on. But Chen, with a slither of health, she will be able to back away. Now Zorn and the rest of Geek Fam, they are actually taking down the high loss, but Chen will not hold on for any longer. This is the 18th kill going for Feeks. It might just be able to find 20 by the end of this one, as Chen will be dropping low ones for
Yep, they got into the backline. Arts is going to sacrifice his life as the rest of the team just back away. They're not even ending. They're not even trying to end this game. They're just taking out inhibitor turrets and really beefing up their individual stats at this point, because they couldn't longer.
Yeah, the moment that they hit level 15, they might just be actually pull up such a good fight. But here comes Zorn right in the middle. They're going to be walling all of these members off on the side of Envy, and they will crash them down. Legendary for the side of Feeks as he hits the 2-0. That double will turn into a triple kill right here, and that's definitely Swan backing out already. Chen doing what he can, but of course, this is going to be that situation where Envy will just have to give this one up. They are too far behind, and Geek Fam can just walk right through. But hey, they say, why not we extend this and get the Lord? But they don't want to do that as well.
Oh boy. Looks like this team definitely is taking their sweet time against Notorious Villains and waiting for them to scale into this game. Notorious Villains are still in it, actually. If you look at Hallucinates, even with the Execute, the Twilight Armor just being bought by Swan because he's getting bursted out of nowhere. So having that strong passive, which enables you for 4 seconds to not die, to not receive any sort of damage from your opponents once you've hit a certain health threshold or received a certain burst, that's when you know that might turn them around, and hopefully Geek Fam is ready to deal with a high loss to be living a lot longer than they usually does.
Yeah, of course, I'm definitely looking forward for that. Swan's really going to step up his game right there. But overall side of Geek Fam, they're trying to punish Chin, and there's nothing that Uranus can do right now. This is going to be walking around, but here comes Sorndo. That's going to be something Kundo. They're going to ram them by the wall, ejector, and towards the crystal, as we'll see members of Envy trying to actually clear off all these ways while Geek Fam hunts for those kills. Arts being taken down to 60%. Cole trying to actually heal Chen up as well. But here comes Arts going for that knock once again. And Sword will be setting things up for 24 kills for Beings. This, while, you know, Uranus can definitely soak up that Abyssal Arrow without a single problem at all. So, Geek Fam here, hitting 18 minutes, they should end this game anytime soon. But, you know, time can wait.
Yeah, and honestly, the more that Geek Fam kind of drags this game out, the better it is for Notorious Villains to actually come back in. Because remember that Geek Fam doesn't exactly scale too well into this game in comparison to Notorious Villains. They've got quite a number of scaling heroes. Kolia will always be relevant, and now the ejector comes in, Sian taking a bit of damage. They've already noticed, oh no, Geek Fam is actually a lot harder to kill. They're not one-shotting them anymore, and now they're on the run as the rest of NV find the damage that they've been looking for. Hallucinates holding his ground. He doesn't want to get too greedy. He knows his team needs him in the back line, making sure that they clear out these waves.
Well, seems like a little bit of that overconfidence is biting them in the back. And of course, a little pause coming in the way as well. Not too sure whether there's any sort of technical issues, but we do apologize for that. So, looking from this point of view, like, I felt like Geek Fam could have just ended the game 7 minutes ago, and they chose not to. They were playing with their food, and now, of course, they are actually paying the price. Little by little, we are looking at Envy making moves and making sure that they stay alive in this game, and they have chances to ace Geek Fam right there.
Yeah, and you know, that's what's really frustrating here, because Geek Fam, at a certain amount of time, I have like the you know, the stream opened up on the side to kind of see a bit of the replays of what's going on, but because there'll be a little bit of the delay. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, Geek Fam, they should have ended this game as soon as possible. They had 4 opportunities to do that, and instead they've kind of allowed Envy to survive to the point where they pretty much can get overturned. It could be one bad fight. The death timers are getting rather long now, so any deaths coming in from either side, Geek Fam or Envy, could be very costly.
Yeah, we're talking about Roger right here, the Uranus as well as the Hylos, with Estes always keeping them alive at the same time. They are getting so beefy, and of course, the Roger will be able to shred down any units in front of him. Like, you give him time, he's just going to turn it towards that late game monster, which he already is. And Envy right now is not holding back. They're not playing passively anymore. They know that they have the firepower, and if they don't get the Lord, then maybe Geek Fam will eventually slide off right there. So I'm just feeling like this is just a little bit iffy right here to me, because Geek Fam, although, you know, they are confident, they should actually seal the game and go for game 2 already. Like, this does affect standings in some manner or not, but, you know, they're just having a time of their life for the very final game of their season.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, they're really enjoying every second of it as of right now, but I think they have to kind of just hold out for now, right? Like, what can Notorious Villains do at this point of time? They're holding their ground. They're looking for an opportunity to actually collapse onto Geek Fam. If they don't find that, I don't know. Lord is just going to be knocking on their doors.
Yeah, and of course, Lord will be marching in pretty much anytime soon now, as we'll see pretty much a huge wave being set up from the top side, which will be cleared out by NV. While Selena as well as Great Joe will be securing some buffs first before coming towards anything at all. While Zord will always be up in the front line, and Dominus finally picked up his full boots for himself, so moving a little bit faster from this point onwards. We're going to see Abyssal Arrow landing on towards the jaw hit, of course, but that's definitely the Lord already arriving in towards the scene right up to the mid-side. Oh, beautiful wall charge right across, as we'll see him rounding out, and this will be Ozarbeki over the front lines here to actually clear things off, and Geek Fam will be able to take game number 1 after a long run of 20 minutes and 43 3 kills. What an absolute smackdown coming for GFAM.
This was a pretty impressive game coming in from GFAM. The total domination just from start to end. They did have a little shaky moments once Notorious Villains started to get their full builds, but immediately after that, it's just, ooh, what can they do? And GFAM still know that they are on top. Hopefully they kind of speed up their second game, because I don't know, playing with your food like that can bite you in the behind at some point.
Yeah, and let's look at some of all these stats right here. A 60.2 KDA for Feeks. I think this might just be the record highest for any Granger players in the regular season so far. So, kudos to them. They've definitely played a really solid early to mid game so far. But, you know, like, it was so draggy, and they managed to actually catch up. Hallucinates that did do quite an amount of damage for the team. As we can see, he did dish out 33%. But, you know, it's nothing compared to Feeks. When you just look at the numbers, he's hitting 6 digits on the damage marks. Oh my.
Yep. Literally 232k worth of damage. Nobody even comes remotely close, but it's pretty impressive that Kolya was able to kind of sustain the team throughout the entirety of the Death Sonata, but the follow-up coming in from Zorn and that wall charge, making sure that he knocks up multiple people, that short second of disruption, GeekFam really knows how to take advantage of it.
Well, let's have a look towards some of the highlights for this first matchup of our final day of regular season. Starting things off, of course, we see some great ejectors coming right through, but, you know, it's a little bit too harsh as GeekFam. They were already so many levels ahead, and they just have to ram them right through for that ace in the hole.
For them to really keep control over it. And since they didn't have the carry, and Roger was kind of slowing down in terms of how much gold he was developing, like here you can already see 40 to 26k. They cut off an entire their entire escape path, forcing them to take a much longer, inefficient path with the Guardian's barrier. So you know that Zorn is a very good player, and Feeks as well. He's still consistent no matter what. He farms hard, but he carries just as hard.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. Like, this seems to be that really crucial fight for NP as well. He managed to still hold on for that, but, you know, when the Lord arrives, it's a little bit way too much. Well, it's only going to be the Estes on their way, which they will eventually find Kolya to secure pretty much a huge game for GeekFam. So, big victory for GeekFam to start things off. They are looking pretty much solid. I'm not sure how's the confidence level like for NP after such a crushing defeat, but hey, I think like they just have to enjoy the very final day of the season where, you know, keep things lighthearted and not to be offended with this play styles of you know, those emotes and like recalls. I think they've pretty much gotten used to that.
I don't know. I'm looking at the chat. People are just like, "Oh my gosh, the disrespect." You have to understand. GeekFam is a team that likes to have fun when they know that they are ahead. This is a team that sham up in this next game, and hopefully you guys have typed it in, because we've got about 30 seconds before we go to the break. So you're not going to have enough time to actually pick up this code if you don't get it right now.
Oh, speaking of which, the cola has disappeared. So for those of you guys who managed to actually get that screenshot, great for you guys. But if you missed that out, you have even more to come much later on. So game 2 is about to start pretty much soon. So I'm definitely excited to see where or not NB can bounce back to actually equalize the score. So of course we'll catch you guys in a couple of seconds from now. But for now, we'll take a little bit breather and we'll catch you.
Ally has been slain. Unstoppable!
Download for free. Legends Bang Bang.
And even when you're in bed.
Wait, what?
Yes, just download the YouTube app and customize your mobile plan exactly the way you want it.
And 802 for HD as well, if you want to see our faces a little bit more disheveled than it is right now in HD.
Well, of course, I'm pretty sure you're looking pretty clean right there. Of course, if you guys have just missed out, game number 1, sure the game for sure. But hey, Envy was just getting pushed around pretty much in a tough position, but they fought back moments, and I'm looking at game 2 right now, and I'm pretty sure it's time for payback. So we're not. Can they keep up with Geek Fam? Is the question right here.
Yeah, and honestly, we definitely, the King and KDAs, they gotta buff up their stats, so I can definitely see why Geek Fam wanna invest a little bit more time to do this farming simulation.
Well, I'm not too sure whether this is a farming matchup or what, but hey, they're just flexing their muscles and saying, hey, we were the champions. There aren't any pushovers in the entirety of the league. It has been proven that they, on their top form, can just upset any team and just crash them up, whether it's the playoffs or the regular season. But
Yep, and there's nothing. Well, I just hope that Envy put up a stronger fight this time around, because they can't let Geek Fam just farm that KDA, not without some kind of retaliation. They've got to ruin the stats somehow, and hopefully Envy's the team to do just that. It looks like the picks and bans are relatively, similar to what it was in game 1. However, it kind of changed position with Geek Fam banning out both marksmen, forcing Notorious Villains. Do they want to pick up the Uranus? They've done it yesterday. They might do it again today.
yeah, of course, this is one of the safest picks possible and the most reliable tank, other than the Grok that has already been banned away. But time and time again, they open up the Selena. This is definitely that big trend which they need to actually clear off, but Notorious Villains is just kind of giving them a buy one, free one right there as we look at them securing pretty much a very similar pickup. So Geek Fam here on their third pick, they're probably looking for a heavy bat up right there, as we've already seen. Envy now waiting for the last bans.
Yeah, it looks like Envy is just, looking to kind of shut down on a lot of these. Honestly, a lot of counter picks are coming up. Like, Notorious Villains are stealing away as many picks as they can. They took away the Cho, they took away the Carmilla, and now they're banning out the Esmeralda just in case they want to look for a counter pick against the Uranus. But I don't think it's going to matter too much considering the amount of pressure that Dominus on his Selena puts onto the battlefield in the Land of Dawn. Geek Fam, they can ban out the Bruno, and Notorious Villains will be in a very tight spot for marksman.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid.
Oh yeah, there's Kimmy.
Yeah, Kimmy as well. But I feel like Geek Fam, they might not even need to actually worry too much about Bruno, so because they definitely can chase the backline with this sort of line, and it
like the Selena with the Abyssal Dash, the passive coming in from Wan as well, Cho, his Shunpo, any of his Jikundos, and even flickers are off the table when you are hit by the bouncing ball from Kufra. So later stages of the game, Notorious Villains are something to watch out for.
Yeah, of course, late game it will definitely be pretty much Notorious Villains getting a lot of advantages here, but Geek Fam, they are so strong early game. Will they allow it to happen? We're about to find out in game number 2 here, as we'll see where if Geek Fam takes a clean 2-0 or Notorious Villains will try to spoil those KDAs and spoil a little bit of their standing run. But then again, Geek Fam has already secured themselves in towards the playoffs. Congratulations to them, as we'll see them advance. Unfortunately for Notorious Villains here, well, they just have to put their hearts out to at least show some some level of pride in this matchup.
I mean, not just level of pride, but also, yeah, you know for a fact that Geekfam wants to get that King and KDA, and I'm just waiting for Envy just to clap them this game to show them what's up. Oh no, Kolia in a lot of trouble getting hit. He can't really walk away. One more bolt inside isn't enough. It doesn't survives with a little bit of HP. He needs to clear this wave and recall instantly because you know that's. Pick off Kolia. He's got to be careful to dodge this next abyssal arrow. Oh, very, very close. The flame shot coming in.
All these shots coming from the Death Sonata of Beaks, but they're looking for Swan. Swan doesn't seem to be able to actually walk out, and hey, he will be able to actually still survive once again with a little bit of help from the couple right here. But Kolia, oh, he's just facing off against Arts again, and he brought him down to low health. Wow, there will be one kill over on towards the hands of Dominus.
You know, we didn't see a lot of Arts last season, and you know, it's upsetting to see that he has been missing when he plays at this level. Like, it's very tough to already get a lead against the Uranus here. Oh no, save him from anything. Sorry, not the Purifier, but trying to dodge away and trying to use the ultimate as well. He needs to get the weakness procs. Doesn't get it, and instantly just goes down.
Yeah, and you were talking about Arts. Like, he is definitely that phenomenal player that Geek Fam needed. He was there when they lifted the trophy, and he was a vital part of it. Like, it's great to see him back, of course, and they are in their top must
there with the rest of Envy, making sure that they are putting up a very good fight against Geek Fam. Now remember, Geek Fam is a little bit ahead here. They are 1k ahead, and they have been able to jack away one blue buff, which has put, you know, the marksman in an awkward position. But it's not like it's a lot of gold. It's not too deficient yet. She's not down a level or anything, but it's not so far for Wan to catch up.
Yeah, I think that definitely there's ample time for them to actually scale above. But Kolia here, he's still trying his best to actually take out some chunk of health coming in from Arts. But Wayward Dragon will connect towards Ozoroveki, as there will be Zord flying right in, trying to look for that Tyrant's Rage, but he does not really land perfectly. Chen is still alive, and they will be punished once again, as Dominus will be falling off for a double kill for Hallucinates.
Yep, and they're going to keep on trying to control this wave, and now Geek Fam's starting to regret. Like, I mean, if I was Geek Fam, I'm kind of regretting, man, maybe I shouldn't have farmed the KDA last time in game 1. It looks like Notorious Villains have kind of stepped up here, and it'll be even more of a, salt into the wound. Notorious Villains just
and walks out alive, while the rest of Envy will chase upon this Kufra, which flicker over the wall, and that will open up the mid lane as well. Dominus trying to actually hold on, but they have to give this one up.
Yep, and so far, I mean, they're doing a great job coming in from Envy, controlling the map as much as they can. Cien, they try to make a play down bot side. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pick up Zorn right now in the top side of the map. Hopefully, Dominus doesn't notice and doesn't throw an abyssal arrow, but the rotations, you can see where they're collapsing for the side of Envy.
Yeah, we're already looking at Cien here, building a little bit more defense with a Teenage Shield being bot right there. Hopefully, it's going to be soaking so much damage that he drops him to 50%, but Uranus is going to be healing himself up pretty much quickly. Now, looking at the item builds, nothing much has been happening so far other than, that Calamity side already being built up from the Selena. And I'm looking at the way that they are playing here, and they are looking for a catch as the Way of the Dragon will land over onto Sword, but they are overcommitting, and Hallucinates takes a little bit too much damage, but the Sicilian will be able to actually take one kill off. 1-for-1 exchange as Cien will fall.
Jan is playing a great game. Jan is playing a great game overall. Like, her positioning is going very, very well. It definitely helps that Swan is being the support, taking the brunt of the damage before using the moon walls to come in. Kolia absorbing a lot of pressure. Can he survive? Oh! He actually makes it out with the Consecrate as well. The regeneration is going to be enough to help him sustain through a lot of the battle, but he's got to be so careful of Beaks now. That crit damage from Beaks is insane.
Yes, indeed. and we're already looking at the goal lead here, favoring Geek Fam for about 4,000, which eventually might extend to 5K as we are looking at them already attempting over on towards objectives. And speaking of which, Turtle has already been slain as Zorn gets punished once again, but it should be a little bit of help coming on the way, but he has to flicker out and he will be able to escape in towards safety. But here comes Tiendo. He's looking for a pickoff, but will actually land a good objective, but they will back away. Not enough reinforcement coming in. But top side though, Kolya might just so he's diving all the way to the back, and this is the 1-1 punishing every single one of these members of Geek Fam. But Rebecca is here on the chase as Feet will be able to land those death sonata shots. Double kill going on for Becky.
Lord,
it looks like Beast has been
soon.
really fed and has pretty much hit level 15 as well. He's close to his full build, and Notorious Villains just couldn't get on top of him. Even though they had won off the trade, at the end of the day, they weren't able to win the war. But now, bottom inhibitor is going to be going down. Feeks is way too strong. Kolya cannot single-handedly clear out the waves himself without taking some significant punishment. Feeks is gigantic this game.
Yeah, similar to game number 1, we're looking at him not even dropping a single time at all for this entirety of the 10-minute gameplay that we are having. And there's going to be the Lord up for a contest where Dominus is just juking his way, trying to actually gather a little bit more information. The missile arrow connects, but Sen will be able to actually punish Dominus right there, and that assassin will be off the map, as we'll see Zorn crashing right through. Fix will be the main target of the chopping block, as we see Kolya all the way up in the front line there. And of course, NB now backs away, trying to actually look for good pickoffs right through.
Yeah, they've already lost 2 for 1 here, but they can't seem to salvage the rest. Zorn already has the immortality, so even going for him might not exactly be worth it when he has to worry about Azora Vecchi and as well as Feeks, who is just gigantic. Like, they have no tools to get on top of him. Xian is trying his very best to look for a really good way of the dragon, but in most situations, he has to just make the best of the situation once he's in the middle of the team, and if he can't get to Feeks, he'll just kick anyone just to escape.
Yeah, and of course, that was definitely that scenario that happened in the previous matchup, and wow, instantly we see Kolya just vanish into thin air, and now it's going to be Zorn here just trying his best to walk out of this, but the Lord has already been startled, and Notorious Villains need to actually reply. Zorn buying so much time, and the damage is real. They will be able to find 1-1 this high time. Geek Fam looks to actually shut down the rest of the enemy, looking for Chen as well, as Dominus tries to find a way to set up, but Geek Fam has already gotten what they needed. They got the Lord, and they are just waiting to end this game.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for the side of NB. They really need Hallucinates to be alive in this one. Oh, Feeks, he might be out of position. He gets 30 more members in an attempted dive to kind of save this game. Lord is walking up, down through the bottom side of the map, and Geek Fam very happy with their position, looking to force another fight onto NB while Arts pushes the top lane.
Yeah, they definitely have the surefire power to force a move over on towards Notorious Villain space, and they have to defend. They've already lost the bottom tier 3, but they have to clear off the Lord, which topside is under attack by the rest of the members of Geek Fam. Kolya dropping low once again. He does not falter, but of course the Lord will be eventually vanquished. But here comes Arts in the front line here. What can they do?
Yeah, it doesn't all look at the engagers. Becky fights to catch up the squad, but they push on forward, and Kolya takes out Feeks. See, now the main damage dealer is dead. They're on the run. They can't really do too much as Hallucinate. It's going to chase them one by one, using that passive to close out the distance, and they've already made such great work. He catches up to Zorn hopping through the minion wave, and Zorn will not go down. He wants to jump back in. He re-engages onto him, and the Tyrant's Rage securing the kill. The synergy with Dominus. Can they turn this around? As yet, coming in with the Sanguine Claw, it's going to be enough. They kill out Dominus finally at the very end. They've lost all 4 members. They finally die. And can they land one more Sanguine Claw, one more bat? It impacted? No. Zorn, he's regenerated. He is the last man standing in Geek Fam after a catastrophe of a fight. They need that Sanguine Claw and Bad Impact if they want to win the next fight. But they just have to hold out for a full 30 seconds. Geek Fam could end the game here potentially if they get a really good fight going.
Yeah, speaking of which, Kolia is trying to actually hold on top side, but they have to give up the towers. It has already been folded up, but here comes Envy, still on the hunt, looking towards the back lines there, trying to find where is the not too much for him, as the rest of Envy is just looking to clear waves.
Yeah, and now Envy, they've lost a lot so far, but they've hit Force in the back line.
Top side up.
Zorbecky is looking to end the game. Can he actually do it? Kolia! And no, it's not enough! He ends the game in the back line. Kolia was unable to clear the waves in time.
Victory!
My goodness me, they did not see Ozorveki cutting through, and they only left the Uranus to defend, which he can't really do all too much of the damage, and victory for Geek Fam.
Oh boy, this is a tough game overall. I mean, I can definitely see that Envy had an opportunity to come back into this game for sure. However, I mean, they were on the cusp of it as well. They already had their full builds. They all just respawned. They defended from a very good push coming in from Geek Fam, who only took it here but didn't end the game. So honestly, Envy put up a very, very good fight and put a lot of hurt into the side of Geek Fam, ending the score 14-20, much better than game 1.
Yeah, definitely looking so much more solid, but they should have seen that backdoor coming in a way which they shouldn't have fully committed in towards the Lord. They just got in that swing of momentum. They crushed down a couple of all these final picks against Geek Fam. Like, you can see the damage output was phenomenal coming in from Hallucinates. Same goes to Kolia as well, but they were way too caught up on towards that objective. They absolutely forgot that they need to defend, and I felt like it wasn't necessary for them to really fully put their efforts on towards Lord just yet.
Well, I mean, it's kind of tough to say how to make the call at the very end of the day, but they were in a bit of a here because they couldn't find the engages, but the change of pace as well.
Yeah, of course, we've seen out of Geek Fam where, of course, they were pretty much off of position for a couple of times. Like, this is the evidence right there. Like, Selena, this is not the first time that they get picked off. It was time and time again. But Geek Fam did manage to actually get so much. It's both Zorn as well as Ozorveki just setting things up. And, of course, the Taurus villains had some couple of great fights, and this is the best one that they had in the mid lane.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this was looking so good because a lot of things went wrong for the side of Geek Fam here, and the moment Hallucinates was able to kind of like get the free auto attacks off the wave, it just became so free that they could turn this fight over. And unfortunately, like, they were so close to actually coming back into this game because they finally hit their 42k gold total, which is enough to say or give me the information that either Chen or Hallucinates are getting very, very close to their full build.
Yeah, and of course, that will mean that this matchup here, his efforts in towards the fight against Geek Fam, too strong for them to handle, as this will be